Today's question comes from Paulette. Paulette asks, how do I test my water? That is an excellent question. The best way for me to answer it is just to be completely candid and say whatever method you're going to use and actually use it, that's the best method for you. Testing your water is kind of like if you were to be cooking and not tasting what you were cooking, it will probably be okay when you're done, but with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it will be so much more enjoyable. And that's what your pool or spa water is like once you actually test it. The two primary methods of testing that are easiest to use and most homeowners are most comfortable with are test strips and a standard drop style test kit. So today I'm going to show you how to use both. And if you have any questions, just send me a note in the comment section. So the first method is test strips. A three-way test strip is the method that we much prefer to use. Don't get too complicated with test strips. They're really just meant as an overall measure of your water chemistry, not to be super, super perfect and accurate, but just to keep your water safe. So take a strip out of the container, close the lid, because you'd have no idea how many strips I have lost in a body of water while bending over to do my dip and swirl. So take the strip, don't put your fingers on the little test tabs, give it a dip in your water, give it a swirl, come out and compare your colors. So the most important thing to test is your sanitizer, chlorine or bromine. The darker the color, the more bromine or chlorine that's in your body of water. Next is your total alkalinity, and then finally your pH. So measure from top to bottom, and that's the order that you should do your adjustments in. You will probably never get an exact match in terms of color, more so intensity. Go for the overall color and not necessarily one specific shade within the little pad that's on your test strip. Now, if you're anything like me, you're going to find that those test strip colors are sometimes really hard to see. Maybe your sanitizer's high and it's bleaching the color off of the strip. Maybe your sanitizer's low and you don't necessarily believe your test strip. So a standard drop style test kit is something that makes your cost per test nice and low and your colors are really distinct. These can be a little scary for some people because it feels all sciencey. Well, as a water doctor, I do like to have the credibility of being very complicated, but it's actually very straightforward. You take your little test kit, you fill with water, and always rinse first. That way you make sure that any water from the last test isn't in your existing test. And then just 5 drops. Happy number 5, my favorite number. 5 drops of yellow on the yellow side, and 5 drops of red on the red side. So here we're testing your total chlorine or your full bromine content, as well as your pH. You put the lid on, you give it a little shaky shake, and then again, compare your colors. I find it helpful to compare it against something that's nice and light in the background, or even against a window if you're inside, or the sky if you're outside. The darker your sanitizer color, the higher the level is. And then with your pH, you really want to try to measure those colors in comparison. And give it a label. Is it more pink? Is it more yellow? And that will help you match your pH against the side. Other than your home testing, which most people should do a couple times a week really, I always recommend finding a pool or hot tub partner. Very much like the real doctor, most of the time you're just going for a checkup so that you can hear how great you are. But if you ever have a real problem and you actually need some professional advice and some consultation, it's really good to have a history with someone. So find a pool or hot tub partner, find your doctor at home, and I'm sure you'll be in great shape. If you have any questions at all, leave us a comment or give us an email to askdoc, ASKDOC, at aqua, AQUA, like the hyphen, tech.ca, where you can reach out to any of us on-call water doctors 24/7. Feel free to subscribe if you like the information that we've been given, or follow us on Facebook for all of the tips as fast as humanly possible. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week.